HamLog are available, but for some it's the definitely brand new concept in holding your QSO and QSL information. A few words about why we are doing that. We all know that ham radio is about making QSOs, and that's only that counts. We want to make Qs, and we want to use radio waves for that. That was 100 years ago, that is today, that will be forever. But before we start making QSOs, and after we made some QSOs, we always face some overhead. Because, yes, we make the QSO, we get our satisfaction with the fact that we just worked our neighbor next door, or some guys in remote location like Bouvet Island on 160 meters, when the guys are sitting under the heavy rain and still able to work you on this very difficult band. But first, to make this QSO, you need to be well prepared. You need to have your antennas, you need to have your equipment, but more important, you need to know where to look for that station, when they will be available, and actually, it's better to know if the propagation is good. But when more important than the overhead of doing something with this QSO after we made this QSO, it's even higher. Because yes, you made a QSO, but you probably need this QSO to be counted for your next award or your next standing in the list of bands DXers, or just a nice reminder that you had this QSO. And that's where significant overhead appears. For many years, we used paper QSL cards to confirm the QSOs. Then we mailed these QSL cards to the card checker, who verified that it's an actually real card and not a fake. Then they count this card in your roster, and they count number of countries you worked, and if you worked enough countries, they issue an award, they mail you this award, you hang it on the wall, and they're happy with that. And on all good times, there were a couple of awards worthy pursuing, like the DXCC, Worked All Zones, USACA, and a handful of others. And you need to make just 100 QSOs to get your DXCC. But not anymore, because today we have more than 3 million operators scattered all over the globe. And there are a lot of reasons to operate. There are summits on the air, there are counties, there are countries, there are a lot of different activities. And keeping track of all those activities is a big, big issue. And when you start doing it the old-fashioned way, manually, you pretty soon get overwhelmed, and you just cannot manage it. That's why a number of online platforms emerged, and the first, probably most important platform, which in a sense revolutionized the world of post-QSO processing, was the Logbook of the World. ARRL, Logbook of the World, introduced Logbook of the World probably about almost 20 years ago, with the best technology available back then, best security available back then, and until now, it is the #1 platform for post-QSO processing, and it also pretty successfully manages a few awards. So if you want to have a DXCC, and now they expanded it to a couple of CQ magazine awards like the WPX, you can use Logbook of the World. and get the reward for your hard work making all these contacts. But time goes on, and there are a number of other platforms which are helping you to navigate this post-QSO world. One which should be mentioned definitely is the XXXI. XXXI, the platform where you can upload all your QSOs and see your progress, how you stack with other DXers, and how to find the interesting DXpeditions and work them, and it even assists you in requesting the paper QSL cards. There are now quite a few other online platforms which also going into the support of logging QSOs, matching them, and handling this post-QSO burden. Recently, QRZ.com, which is outstanding information platform, outstanding, effectively, notebook, which keeps all your gives information about other stations, and it's like your phone book where you can check the call signs of stations you work. They also introduced their own logbook. It is not that successful yet, but it's growing popularity. Now, let's get back to the application which we are talking about today. HamLog Online is the platform which appeared less than 10 years ago in 2014 as a simple platform which supported one single activity. That was the Russian RIAM activity devoted to the some anniversary of Ernst Krenkel. And it appeared that the platform which allows different stations to share their logs and to check the confirmation of the QSOs made during this activity appeared to be pretty valuable. So in a few years, it transformed itself into the pretty universal platform where different special event operations can combine their logs, can verify these queues in the real time, and start issuing awards for this, for achievements in these events. And in less than 10 years, it became one of the few largest databases of all QSOs which were made in the world. The size of the database is slightly shy of half of the size of the Logbook of the World database, despite the Logbook of the World is 3 times longer in existence than HamLog. It has tens of thousands of users who upload their QSOs and check their progress with different awards. The main difference, say, between Logbook of the World and HamLog in flexibility, for example, is that with the Logbook of the World, you can add additional award to the system, like what CQ Magazine did with their WPX award, in the short 5 years on average. And you need to convince ARRL that they need to add this award. With a HamLog, you can add your award in the time frame probably within 15 minutes. So if you're a club, if you have a award program or special event operations, you can add your award to the system by yourself and let people use it on the air, let people hunt for the stations which are eligible for points for this particular activity, and let you have the awards issued to the winners in really no time. Also, this platform allows you simply log your QSOs without any. Gene, please don't do that. Everybody is watching. It's okay. So now I think it's better to switch to the system itself and start how we start with using this HamLog. When you go to the website HamLog Online, you can when you first come, you see the generic landing page with some awards which are running on there right now. And here you see the statistics of the current situation with the database. So in the database we have 367 million QSOs, 18,000 registered users, 28,000 call signs, because each user may have multiple call signs, and the number of awards which were issued is 1.9 million. When we say issued award, it means that you achieved the goal, you press download, you got the PDF file with your award. That's an easy part. Of course, the system also supports hard awards like paper or plaques. There are much fewer of such awards are issued, but they're also available here. Now, how I can use it myself. First of all, you need to have an account. So if you go to this account page, you will see this QR code, which is the only, scanning it with a special app is the only way to log on to the system. HamLog does not use usernames and passwords at all. That's made for security and privacy issues. You know, username and passwords are extremely insecure. Anyone can steal them. Anyone can mess with the whole system. And that's why, by the way, ARRL 20 years ago introduced their security system based on private key infrastructure. That's why you cannot upload anything unless you have a certificate issued by ARRL. Back then, it was the best security system available. But since then, new technologies emerged. So we implemented the easier to use and better technology, which is called WWPass. You can get this WWPass key app for free. And without it, you cannot log in. So you need to have this app on your phone. When you got your app on your phone and went through the initialization process, then you will have the key which will open the access to your and only your log. So if I need to log into the system, I scan the QR code with my app. I see for sure that I'm going to the HamLog and not to the other site, so we avoid any phishing. And if I see the HamLog, I approve it, and the system let me in. That's it. That's very easy, but it's impossible to a hacker to get into your account. Now you are on my page, where I have my own online log, where I can upload my logs in AD format, where I can download it from the system back to my system, and I can manage some of the awards I am after. Let's start from the probably most important thing, the online log. I can enter QSOs in real time as I'm working. And for example, I'm calling K5ZD. K5ZD and the system fields all the information about K5ZD himself, and it also shows my previous QSOs with Randy. I had 29 QSOs with him because, you know, he's a contester, I'm the contester, so we work each other in every contest. So I have all the information about him, and please pay attention to this field, frequency. The frequency is gotten from the interface with the transceiver. So this transceiver is connected to this website. How we do that? That's the unique magic of HamLog, because we have a special program called HamLog Agent. You download it from the HamLog website, you install it, you configure it, and you connect your transceiver to your HamLog during using this thing. This agent also allows you to connect to WSJT. So instead of using the internal logger, you can use the WSJT for FT8, and if you have the agent properly configured and connected, you complete the WSJT FT8 or FT4 QSO, you hit enter, and the QSO immediately appears in your log in the HamLog. So there are two options to log your QSOs in the real time, either through the built-in logger or through the WSJT. Now, this logger is in so-called general QSO mode. When you are working others slowly in the relaxed mode, when there is no rush to make a QSO, that's why you have the picture of this guy and all the additional information, a lot of fields which you can fill. You can fill comment if you wish, because you enjoy your time. But there is other options when you need to make as many queues as possible, like in the contests or QSO parties. So now we are creating, and that's the work we just began, but we're working on that pretty fast. We're adding the contest mode, so where you can enter information into the HamLog. Once again, it's online and it's connected to your radio, but it's almost as N1MM or WriteLog or other contest software systems. It's not as sophisticated as of yet. So if you are serious about making millions in worldwide contests, then probably you still need to stick to your existing logging, contest logging program. But if you are kind of recreational contester, where you can make a couple of hundred QSOs in worldwide contest, or maybe a couple of dozen QSOs in a QSO party, then you can easily use this software to simplify your life. So the first contest module which we developed is for New England QSO party, which will take place next weekend. So we encourage everybody to join the fun on HF bands next weekend. Work as many New England counties and New England stations as possible. And by the way, the HamLog team will go to Nantucket Island for this contest, because Nantucket is not a very easy to work county. And we will try to give this county to as many people as it gets, and we will be using HamLog as our major logger at this event. So this is the modules which allow you to enter QSOs in the real time. Now, let's get back to our main page, the account. We can manage many call signs. So probably in your life, you used your call sign in many locations and you used many different call signs. For example, right now, I'm the trustee of WR1CA station. I'm assistant trustee for W3UA. And I also had a number of calls in the past. So if you switch to my past calls, you see that I was AB5GY from 1992 to 1996 in Texas. And for a year ago, we operated as the special event station K1S. I also was the trustee of this operation. So these are all my previous call signs. And HamLog keeps tracks of all these QSOs. And the good news is that even if you use the same same call, but you operate from different places, every QSO you entered is associated with a specific place. So before I moved to New England in 2004, I lived in Dallas, Texas. So all my QSOs before are marked as done from Dallas County, Texas. When I moved here, now all my QSOs, which are made from my home station in Hillsborough County in Bedford, New Hampshire, they're marked that way. But when I go somewhere, all that QSOs are marked as those which are made from this other place. So if we get back to the online log, here you see the information about my location. So that's my current home location. But if I, say, operate from here, I can change this information to this location. Right now, I believe we are in Rockingham County. Yeah, so I can correct the county. I should actually correct my QTH locator, which I'm not aware of now. But if I knew that, I will put it there. So all the QSOs made in the new location will be marked that way. So this whole system can hold all your QSOs you ever made or you ever will make in strict accordance to their locations and all the other parameters which are associated with this QSO. So now we can get to the management of the databases which were created in different other loggers. So probably you use some other loggers, and I went through a number of loggers. For many years I was using DXBase, then I moved to Ham Radio Deluxe, then I moved to what's my current one, the DX Lab. All of these loggers are excellent loggers, but all have some problems that push me out. But when I used them, I collected a lot of QSOs. In my last database in Ham Radio Deluxe was about 140,000 QSOs. Then I moved to DX Lab, and now my current DX Lab database is about 160,000 QSOs for W3UA alone, plus about 25,000 to 30,000 of WU3A and other queues. And all of these QSOs were taken from these databases, put in an AD file, and then uploaded to HamLog database. The typical upload takes about 10 minutes, 20 minutes to be processed, depending on the load on the system, sometimes even faster. And then you have them stored there forever. So this thing, if you don't even use it for everyday logging, you can use it as a free backup of your QSOs, which is very reliable, which is protected in the cloud, and easy way to migrate from one system to another. There are a number of additional features, like the system has the chat, which allows you to talk to other guys and to set up scads, and we separated it between different regions. As I said, it's mostly used in Europe, so we have very few users in North America active now, but I hope that this thing will change. Now, the next thing is teamwork. Teamwork is the mode where you support multiple operators working with the same call sign from different locations. The typical example is the 13 colonies. The 13 colonies, if you're aware, there's activity where one call sign issued per state. There are 13 original states in the Union, and each state from this original list gets one call sign. We operate in New Hampshire as a K2K. And multiple operators can schedule their activity, both online, both in real time or in advance, reserve the slot for a specific band and mode, and make sure that all the rules are fulfilled correctly, so you do not overlap two stations operating the same band and mode. So you can grab your spot for a period of time, and everybody on your team will know when you use this frequency. I know that there are some stations use Google Sheets and shared spreadsheets and other ways to manage this activity, but this is an easy way to do so. So the stations can use this just for the scheduling. And if you don't want to operate anymore, you can release your slot. Now, let's get to awards. Awards is probably one of the most important parts of this platform. And as an example, I would like to see this All England, All Scotland, and All Wales award. It's the British award, which let you collect different counties in the United Kingdom. And the system calculates your score and actually shows how many QSOs you have with the different stations from this region, and you can see all the awards which were issued to different participants. So, for example, this guy, that's his record book, effectively. So it shows which counties he has confirmed in the system. And if you satisfy the requirements for this award, then you can apply for it. So we have similar award for New England, which we created ourselves. It's called NECA, New England County Award. And also, you can see how many counties different stations worked. Of course, these are only the actual members of HamLog who have the accounts. So HC2AO worked all these counties in different bands and different modes. He is by far the leader. I also have these awards, but I'm well down the list. And by the way, when we were thinking about where to go for the New England QSO party, we looked at what counties are not confirmed among the leaders. And we found okay, let me finish with the previous one. We found that Nantucket County is the most difficult county to work. That's why we decided to go to Nantucket. Hopefully, after the New England QSO party, this picture will change, and probably the next most difficult will be Duke. Now, for the short-term activities, we were used by Royal Belgian Amateur Radio Union, which celebrated its 75th anniversary, and they had this activity, and you see the results of the operation. And also as an important aid for those who are looking for the stations is the cluster, which is filtered based on the specific event. Like, for example, on this page, which is devoted to this Belgian operation, it shows only the Belgian stations which are operating. So, for example, in New England QSO party, if you go to New England QSO party page during the New England QSO party, you will only see the stations from New England, and it will show you the state and county, so you can easily find the station you need to work. So getting back to the whole idea of this platform, it helps you to make QSOs, and it helps you to process these QSOs after you made it. As we said, that HamLog is not the only QSO matching system. But so far, we can trust only one external QSO matching system, and that's the Logbook of the World. Because they are the only system which really verifies the users, so you can be sure that the QSO is, which is verified, is done by the legitimate stations. So what we decided to do, we can accept the Logbook of the World confirmation for all these awards. So if you are looking for an award and want the confirmations from the other stations which are not part of HamLog, but they are part of Logbook of the World, then you can go to this Logbook of the World import page and download the confirmations of your QSOs into your HamLog account. To download this information, you need to know your username and password. As we say, you cannot upload QSO to Logbook of the World without the certificate, but you can pull the information about your confirmed QSOs. That's what we use. If you have a Logbook of the World account, you enter your username and password, and you import all your confirmed QSOs into your HamLog account. Of course, it only matches with the QSOs which you uploaded to HamLog. And that's, by the way, what made this trick with New England County Award and with the British awards, because not every station in the world is the member of HamLog yet. So we need to use other means to have these confirmations. And as of today, Logbook of the World is the only confirmation service we use. There are others, but they are not match our security requirements. That's why we cannot integrate their matching. Now, getting about the getting further, we cooperate with the different developers. So we allow people to use API. So if you develop some logging software, you can integrate your loggers with HamLog. So your logger will upload the QSOs into HamLog on the way. But this part probably is not really interesting for ordinary users. And finally, let's get back to this HamLog agent. As I said, it's a small program which you can download right from our website. If you want your Mac or your PC to, and we also have plans for Linux, to interact with the transceiver, as I said, you need to install this program on your computer, configure it, connect it, and you will have your log following your tuning knob. Probably that's all about the basic functionality of HamLog. Eugene is the creator of the system. It was his idea. And as I said, initially it started in Eastern Europe, but about 2 years ago, the whole company moved to New England. So now it's all produced in New Hampshire. So it's now kind of homegrown system. We're open for cooperation with other developers, and we definitely believe that ham radio operators of all levels will benefit from using it. We are open for any suggestions, any ideas how the system can be improved, and we just invite everybody to log in to the system, set up your account, and start keeping your QSOs in this HamLog online platform. Any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
I have my QRZ logbook linked to my logbook of the world, and it automatically uploads. Can you link your QRZ logbook to this?
We did not we do not interoperate with the QRZ for a couple of reasons. First of all, historically we just didn't do that. The second reason, as I said, QRZ.com and other loggers, they use username and passwords for authentication. We believe that it's a very, very weak way to protect the information, so we cannot trust it. But as I said, we trust Logbook of the World. As of today, we only downloaded the confirmation. But we discussed that probably synchronization with the whole database of the Logbook of the World for each particular operator is a valuable thing, so we will probably add it in the very nearest future. So we will be able not just import confirmation from the Logbook of the World, but all your QSOs from the Logbook of the World. If other services will improve their security, then we will consider interoperating with them.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay?
I have a second question. Is that okay?
Okay, go ahead.
For our group, for my club, we use N1MM software. Now, that can be linked with.
We are working on allowing several loggers, and N1MM is #1 on the list, to send these QSOs straight to the HamLog online in real time. There are a couple of reservations for the real-time logging, and the first one is that according to many contest rules, you cannot publish your logs before the submission date. So in this particular case, if you start logging QSOs, and they will be available for checking in a few seconds after you logged it, it can be the violation of the contest rules. That will mean that for each specific contest, we will need to add additional limitations. So certain contests you will not be able to violate these rules. And it's a pretty complex proposition. So we suggest in this case, if you use the N1MM, you finish the contest, you create the eddy file, you wait until the limitation imposed by the rules, and when you are allowed to upload your log, then you upload it as an ADIF at once.
That's what we did for Winter Field Day. We waited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's the rules. And by the way, I will do some little segue. We as a team also have another project which we support and develop. It's called WARCA, World Amateur Radio Contesting Association's ranking, where we get the information from the contest sponsors about the results, crunch the numbers, and then rank all the operators in the world according to their achievements in these contests. And this WARCA, which is a Swiss nonprofit organization, they're also working on the real-time contesting. And the real-time contesting, it's a very interesting issue where you are working and every QSO you made is immediately uploaded to the system, immediately checked, and immediately presented on the certain dashboard. So it's like in a real ball game. Actually, the ham radio, it's an interesting sport where you do not know the results of your efforts until long after the event ends. And that makes it hardly interesting for many people who want the result right away. So transforming this sport into something which can be watched and enjoyed not only by participants but by spectators, by fans, it's a very important thing for the future of this sport. So what you are talking about is that hopefully we will have these real-time contests soon where loggers will send this data and it was judged right on the spot, and 5 minutes after the contest is over, the judges publish the final scores and the final results and give you your award. It's in the works. It's a very hard work and it takes a lot of time and efforts. We're not there yet. Okay, and by the way, I want to say KC1QDK. If I have a QSO with a KC1QDK, let's see. Nope, not yet.
I'm a technician, so
okay.
Maybe in the future.
Yeah,
I
sure.
live in Manchester, so we're close by.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get me next weekend because I'm going to go to the Western Observatory.
Okay.
And the 42 and 43 are right there. So you can get me on 42, and then I'll take a little walk. And you get me on.
Okay, so you will be on HF?
So yeah, 10 meters.
On the 10 meters. Okay. I'm not sure if there will be much activity on 10 meters, but we will also do some FT8 from Nantucket. So look for us. And by the way, the easiest way to find us will be to log on to HamLog Online, see the spots for the NEQP, and when you see W3UA, that's this gentleman's call, that will be our main call sign, Nantucket, so both modes, CW and sideband as a multi-op, it will be W3UA, and we will also have a digital station which will be FT8 only, and that will be W3UA, and it will be also from Nantucket. Okay. Any more questions?
one there where it showed it looked like a digital QSO guide.
Digital QSO, yeah. We, as I said, we can interact with the WSJ team. So if we are going to this agent, if you go to the agent, so as I said, we can connect to WSJ team and configure it properly. So when you finish the QSO in WSJT, it sends the UDP packet to the agent. Agent grabs the information about this QSO and immediately uploads it there. So you don't even need to use the logger. You can use just WSJT. So if you have radio connected to WSJT, just download the agent, configure the UDP ports properly. There is explanation how to do that, and you will start logging your QSOs directly into the HamLog online. There are some things, but I'm not sure if we have WSJT on this computer. No, we don't have it. Sorry. But that's relatively easy to do. And anytime you have any questions, you always can shoot email. There's an email on the website, or there's this support email, or you can email me directly at W3UA at W3UA.com. Easy to remember. Okay? Maybe somebody from the Zoom meeting have any questions. I don't know how to check it. No. Okay. So, perfect timing. By the way, for some time we will be at our desk in the commercial hall 1. So if you want to continue this talk, you can come to our place there and see you in the contests and down the log in HamLog Online. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.